Hi everybody, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa from Pilat-Haze, and I'm going to take you through today a little taster Pilates class, just a short class, give you a brief introduction and let you see how it can benefit your body and your mind. So we're going to start today on the mat. So if you don't have a mat, don't worry, just clear off a bit of floor space for yourself. And what you're going to do is sit up nice and tall on the bony parts of your bum and bring your heels nice and close towards the bum then. Have your feet just about hip distance apart, and I just keep my hands on my knees and slowly lower myself down onto the mat. Relax your shoulders back and just make sure those feet haven't stepped out. Now from here, I'm just going to introduce you to a little bit of the breath. So we'll pop our hands on our ribs. You can close your eyes and tuck your chin in slightly and just relax those shoulders down. Now with your hands on your ribs, all I want you to do is inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. And again, inhale through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. And you should start to feel what happens when you do that breath. You'll feel when you inhale, your ribs expand in your hands. And as you exhale, your front ribs move down towards your back ribs, so you melt down into the mat. So let's do that again. A big inhale, ribs expand, actively send them up and out. And as you exhale, let them melt down, down, down. And then again, a big inhale, expand, and then exhale, soften down. And this is the breath that I like to encourage in class. Just take the tension out of the head, neck and shoulders, move the breath down the body, get the core working a little bit more. When you're ready then, you can place your hands down by your hips. And if at any stage during this you forget that breath, just take your hands back onto your ribs to remind yourself. Okay, now just relax your shoulders, relax your chest. You might find that they've already got pretty heavy onto the mat. And then from here, what I want you to do is roll your hips towards your belly button, towards your face. You'll find when you do that, your low back flattens onto the mat, and that's exactly what I want. Lovely, flat low back to the mat. From here, spread your toes. I want you to feel all four corners of your feet on the mat. Take a lovely big inhale through the nose. And as you exhale out the mouth, you can start to stand into your feet. Roll your hips up nice and gently. Peel your spine off that mat. When you get to the top, just place your hands on your hips for a second and just feel those hips. Are they balanced? Are they steady? And then take your hands back down. Reach your knees a little bit further forward and let your chest come a little bit heavier than you think it should be. Take a big inhale and then exhale, you're going to melt down. Now this is spine articulation, so you really want to peel that spine down as gently as you can. But if it's your first class and your first time doing Pilates, you might find that it's a little bit stickier. So we're going to keep flowing through here and I'm going to keep yapping away. As you roll down, if you find you're getting stuck in the back or your back is really tight, I want you to think about just rolling your ribs down. Take a pause. Roll your mid back down, pause. Your low back, pause, and finally your tailbone. When you get to the bottom, make sure we roll the hips to the belly button so your low back is lovely and straight. We keep that connection as we roll up, just as gently as we roll down. So here's your shoulder bridge. A really beautiful move for your spine, your hips, and just focusing in on that breath. You want to try and keep your hips as steady as you can as you roll up, and as steady as you can as you melt down. So if you're finding there's lots of wobbling and shaking, don't worry, especially if it's your first class, the body just needs to adapt to the exercise. But a couple of little things you could do. Make sure you're standing into your feet evenly as you roll up and down. You can break up into sections as you roll down, so like I said, ribs, mid-back, low back, tailbone. And you can always just roll halfway up and back down if that suits your body better. We're just going to go for 2 more. Exhaling as you roll, inhaling at the top, sending those knees forward, open out your hips, exhaling, rolling down. And then last one, up, and we're going to hold this one up here. We're going to do a little bit of a challenge here now. So if you need to have the hips a little bit lower, absolutely go for it now, but we're still standing in evenly into both feet. Hips are balanced, whether they're up really high or whether they're halfway up, or even if they're just a tiny bit off the mat. You choose your level for today. Now relax your chest, relax your shoulders. They've no work to do here. Your shoulders will be nice and stable, just keeping you in place. Now this goal of this next exercise is to keep your hips as balanced as can be. Now I want you to really focus, put all the weight in your left leg, float your right leg up into what we call tabletop. Knee over the hip, shin in line with your mat. Hold it for 2 seconds, place it down. Now when you lift the leg up, you're avoiding dropping into that hip. So you're almost imagining your thigh bone is reaching up and out of the hip socket when you lift it up. We're just going to go for 4 more. Hold for about 2 seconds. And don't worry if the backs of the thighs start to burn here, your hamstrings will come alive because they're stabilizing you to keep you in place. Just 2 more. And then last one. So super test for pelvic stability. Hold it at the top here, take a lovely big inhale. And then with your exhale, you're going to melt down as gently as you can all the way to the mat. Once your bum hits the mat, bring both knees one at a time into your chest and just give yourself that little baby rock from left to right. Ease the hips out, rock forward, back, side to side, anything you need to do here, just to ease everything out. Now from here, take your feet, I'd go actually wider than your mat for this one, or if you don't have a mat, just go beyond shoulder width apart. Knees bent and feet planted down. Open out your hands left and right, palms face up to the ceiling, and just melt those shoulders down even more. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, let both knees fall to the right. Now when your knees fall to the right, I want you to look to the left. What we're doing is a super big stretch for those hips, your back, right the way up to your shoulders. And you want those knees to come as close to being on the ground or the mat as you can. And don't worry if they don't get there today. Mine aren't going there today, and that's absolutely fine. Listen to your body and just do the best movement that your body can today. Big inhale, bring your knees to center. And as you exhale and twist, let the bottom ribs move in towards your belly button. Get even a bigger twist here. Looking in the opposite direction to what your knees have fallen. And just thinking, I'm getting a lovely stretch in my hips, a lovely stretch in my spine. Seeing how much I can twist and move to feel that stretch. To breathe into the stretch a little bit more. And we're just holding here for another 6 seconds. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees to center. Okay, well done. Now from here, what we're going to do is bring both legs into tabletop. So just knees over the hips, shins parallel with your mat. And we're going to take our hands up from our shoulders, thumbs facing back to the wall behind us. Tuck your chin in ever so slightly. So most of you will have seen abdominal crunches in the gym, or kind of sit-ups you might call them. This is going to be very, very similar, but we're going to add some Pilates moves in. So your first movement is going to be just like a sit-up, but I'm going to talk you through it. Take a lovely big inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, you're going to move your ribs to your hips. As you do, you'll notice your head, neck and shoulders lift up. Your hands can go down the sides of your hips. Now as you inhale, create space between your ribs and hips. Rest your head back down. And again, ribs move to the hips. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, release it back. Imagine you had a really tight jumper on and you were trying to take that jumper off over your head. So you'll scoop and lift up. We get the shoulders up high enough to support our neck and head, and then release all the way back down. And we're just going to go for 2 more. Up, exhaling to the top, looking at that belly button. Inhaling, releasing back down. Your last one, we're going to go up, we're going to hold it there. Now look towards that belly button. If you need to, you can always take one hand to the back of your head. You can always rest your head on a pillow or something if you're finding it too difficult in your first class to stay up here. Again, listen to your body and modify as you need to. Otherwise, we're staying up here, shoulders up. We're going to take our hands to our left shin. We're going to draw it in towards our chest. Our right leg can reach long and low. Now to make this exercise easier, if it's your first day, have your right leg up a little bit higher. And that's just going to make it a little bit easier on the hips and the low back. Otherwise we're going nice and low here. You're going to take an inhale through the nose. As you exhale, you're going to switch the legs. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. So this is your single leg stretch. It's one of your classical Pilates movements. We're working the core, the hips. It's a full body integrated movement. Really, really lovely. Try and get that knee in towards your chest and keep that breath going. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. We're going for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and last 1. Both knees in, and you can rest your head down. Give yourself that little rock side to side, forward and back, anything you need to do just to ease the body out here. Okay, and we're going to go on to our next exercise, which is the next step up after single leg stretch. We're going to do double leg stretch. So you're going to bring your legs back to tabletop, inner thighs together to keep them nice and active, feet together. If you're finding it a bit difficult to keep your legs on tabletop, especially if it's your first day, drop your heels to your bum, pull your knees into your chest. That's going to take off the pressure on your hips and make it a bit easier to keep the legs up, okay? Otherwise we're here. All right, when you're ready, bring the hands up, thumbs face back to the wall behind you, pinky fingers forward. Take a lovely big inhale, tuck your chin in. As you exhale, move those ribs to your hips, look towards the belly button, lift up. From here, both hands onto both shins. Bring the knees in towards your chest. Big inhale, exhale, reach the legs forward, arms up. Inhale, draw back in. Exhale, reach it out. Now, remember, you can always just go that bit higher with the legs to make it easier. The lower you go with the legs, the harder this will be. If you need to rest the head at any stage, you can. Otherwise, we're staying up in the head, neck, and shoulders. And we have the shoulders up high enough to support the neck and head. We're going for another 6. Use your breath. 5. 4. Feel that space between the ribs and hips changing every repetition. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Draw it in, rest your head, and that little baby rock from left to right. Well done. Place one foot down. Draw the opposite knee into your chest, lift your hips, and then rock yourself up to seated. Okay, so turn and face me now. And what we're going to do is go for a crossed leg position here, okay? Now, if you find it really challenging to sit in this position and sit upright, you might get a little cushion now, or a blanket or a towel or something like that, and just prop it under your bum, just so that you can sit really, really tall, and then roll the shoulders down the back, okay? So if you need to pause and go and grab that, you can, and join back in when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to sit really tall, up on the bony parts of the bum, lengthen through our spine. From here, I'm going to open my hands out left and right, relax my shoulders away. I'm going to take a big inhale, and as I exhale, I'm going to twist. Now, when I'm in center, I'm going to reach my right hand forward, my left hand back behind. For 3, 2, 1, to center. Big inhale, exhale, twist. Reach front hand forward, back hand away. Pulse 3, 2, 1, to center. And again, inhale, exhale, twist. 3, 2, 1. So you're imagining that someone's pulling your hand in front and pulling your hand behind, creating all this space and reach. We're going for 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Pop your hands on your knees, and you can just do a few shoulder rolls here and just ease it all out. Take a few deep breaths. We're nearly there. Last little stretch for today. Okay, so what we're going to do next is just switch our feet into what we call a Z sitting position. So with this, I'll have my right foot tucked into the front and my left foot tucked into the back, okay? If your hips are quite tight, this is actually a really big stretch for your hips. If anyone's done a Pilates class before, you will find you really feel this. So if you struggle with it, especially today in your first class, take that back leg out. Reach it out and just let it relax, okay? You can still do the stretch absolutely perfectly with just one leg tucked in. You can have it forward or back, depending on how the hips are feeling, okay? So you choose your position. We've got the right foot to the front and the left foot can be to the back or straight out in front, okay? From here, shoulders relax down the back. I'm going to take my hand to the right side of my hip, or to the right hip. From here, big inhale. Exhale, I'm going to reach my left hand up and over. Now what I'm going to do is make sure I'm sliding to the side. I'm creating space between ribs and hips on the top half of my body, letting them come together on the right side of my body. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, opposite arm over. Now I'm creating loads of space between my shoulder and my ear. Imagine there's an orange or an apple. I don't know why it would be there, but it's between your ear and your arm, just to create that bit of space. Inhale and exhale, switch. Inhale and exhale, switch. And you might like to do a little pulse here. I always do, just to ease myself in. Or you can just go straight for a hold. Last one. And back to center. Okay. Switch the legs. And again, if you had the back leg straight out the last time, you can do the same here, absolutely no problem. If you need to prop something under your bum just to make it a little bit more comfortable to sit upright, go for that too, okay? Hand comes to the left hip, big inhale, exhale, you're gonna reach that right arm up and over. Now, when you do, let your left shoulder relax away. Create all that space on the right side of the body. Big inhale, exhale, move into that space. Create the space on the left instead. Don't forget about that orange or apple or whatever you have attached to your ear. Keep that space between your bicep and your ear. Inhale, float the hand up, and exhale, we're going over. This is such a beautiful stretch. This is mermaid. You should try and do it every day. Really, really nice for the upper body, for laterally flexing, rotating. We've got another 3 and 2. And when you're ready, go for your last one. Bring it to center, hands on the knees, and just relax your shoulders down the back. Okay, from here, what you're going to do is just slowly bring yourself up to standing on your mat. Big inhale, arms float up overhead. Exhale, fold the body forward, let your hands come down towards your feet. You can shake your head no. You can nod your head yes. And then just let the head hang down super, super heavy. Let your arms hang down super heavy. Spread your toes and plant your feet into your mat. And then stand into your feet a little bit more every breath. Let your legs lengthen. Let your upper body hang heavy. Once those legs are straight, you can gently roll up all the way to the top. Enjoy this. When you get to the top, let your shoulders go down your back. Big inhale, arms up. Exhale out and around. And last big breath up and out. And you're all done. Well done.